didn't go.
This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, welcome to live TV with the host producing. The thing didn't go like it was supposed to go. I'm Justin Jarrett. This is Butch, Ned, Mullis. You know him, Ned, Butch, Mullis, whatever. You know him from the Lowco Diamond Dudes. If you've been watching that, we're co-hosting that one together along with Wes Kerr. And Wes is on vacation, so Butch is jumping on with me today on the LowcoSports Lowdown Live on a Friday afternoon, going into spring break, going into Heritage Week, and I'm frozen up again. Can y'all hear me?
Hear you fine.
All right, good deal. It's freezing up on my end, but if it's good on your end, we're all good. I'm Justin Jarrett. This is Butch Mullis. We're talking local sports here in the South Carolina Low Country. Going to be joined in a few minutes by Coach Ron Fudala of the USCB Sand Sharks basketball team, men's basketball coach. He's out on the road trying to find Sand Sharks, and we're going to get caught up with him and where they stand going into their first season next fall. But Mullis, how's it going, man? I mean, I just saw you this morning where we've hanging out a lot together this time of year. It's baseball season, and now we got two little Jarretts under your tutelage because Finley from the famous Killer Whales got her first lesson today. So we're trying to put some pieces together over there. But you had a full slate today since spring break. The kids are out of school. Everybody wanted to get some swings in, it seems like. But you holding up all right?
Oh, yeah. Got a dirty shirt, but we're going to deal with it.
Dirty shirt. It's that time of year, man. You sweat through them pretty quick this time of year. We'll talk a little bit more about it later, but of course it's Masters Week, and that means Heritage is on the cusp. It's next week. Looking forward to that, and you're a big golf guy, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. But a few other headlines to get through before we get Coach Fudala in here. Buford football team honored at the State House yesterday. That was really cool to see. That's a cool thing they do. I mean, what an awesome honor and opportunity for those guys. And like I said on Twitter, Lowco Legends, that group. I mean, just the consummate team, really believed in one another and trusted in one another in the game plan and the process. And I thought they did a heck of a job this year with that coaching staff and that team. But what a cool thing to be honored at the State House.
Definitely.
That's all you got on that, man. A few words.
Well, I mean, that's it's got to be, it's got to be a great feeling for those kids. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We're kind of out of sight, out of mind down here, and kind of like it when we get a little bit of recognition all over the state. Not just, it's one thing for the school board to do it; it's another thing for the State House to do it.
That's exactly right. And I mean, yeah, they do that kind of thing at the county council and stuff a lot. And that's a cool thing too. But yeah, to be at the State House and get that honor, very cool. On the spring sports front, Hilton Head High got a baseball sweep over Bluffton. That was a big one. We talked about that on the Diamond Dudes, and your May River Baby Sharks also took two from Lucy Beckham, had to fight to do it 2-1 in 10 innings. Tyson Brasington swiping home on a great play to get the dub. And Willie Korn, you gave him plenty of love on Diamond Dudes, but he went 5 1/3 hitless with a strained groin, which is pretty impressive stuff from Willie. And then Landon got it done. And I gave your boy Hollywood, Logan Hargis. Gave him is it Logan Hargis? Did I say that right? Or Landon? Yeah, Logan Hargis. I gave him a shout out on WHHI today.
I told him, I said, I left it off till I saw you pitch. And but he pitched great. Another young kid stepping up. Love that. Love to see the real Baby Sharks step up. And good kid, moved in from the West Coast, and that's why we call him Hollywood. His dad, ex-military, great people. Just fun to watch.
Yep, Hollywood had a good game. Jordan Reed got a couple knocks. That was good to see. On the softball side, there was a little controversy. Colleton and James Island, and we'll watch the video later on.
Yeah, was she safe or out? What's the controversy?
I had her safe. They called her safe. James Island didn't like it, and then apparently the tensions were high, and then there was another controversial call after that where it really popped off, and there were ejections. But she looked safe to me. I mean, maybe somebody thought it was a force. Maybe somebody thought it was a force. I'm not really sure. But,
I don't know. If that's a tag
at any rate,
there's no controversy.
I agree, and I agree with that. But they split. May River kept pace. We're kind of forgetting about them, but they're sitting there with just one loss as well. Still got to play, both James Island and Colleton, but they're in control of their own destiny, as we would say. And then had some rivalry games on the soccer pitch as well. Bluffton sweeping Hilton Head, May River Boys with a walk-off win as well against Beckham in the bottom of the 11th of a shootout. And we'll show some highlights from that later. But we won't keep him waiting any longer because he's pulled over on the side of the road waiting to talk to us. So we'll get Coach Ron Fudala from the USCB Sand Sharks men's basketball program in here. Coach Ron, great to catch up with you. We are scrambling for a guest today. Everybody's scrambling on spring break, but you're always willing to jump in and talk with us, and we appreciate it. Excited about this Sand Shark Hoops program that's coming this fall, and just kind of get us caught up to speed on what you've been up to and where you stand.
No, first, Justin, thank you. Thanks for having me. Anytime. I appreciate all you do for the sports of the Low Country, and now that I call myself a local, anything I can do to help you guys, man, I'll always be glad to be a guest on your show. So I want to thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, man. How's it going over there? I know you're on the road up around Pittsburgh this weekend, but been in Houston, been all over the place.
Yeah, been all over the place. Just trying to find the best Sand Sharks we can find. I think we're doing a good job. I want it to be a local community product, so I grabbed up 2 guys from Savannah that I really liked. I got 2 up in Charleston and 1 in Greenville. So I don't want to be that coach that everybody's saying, oh, local guys don't want to recruit our own players. So want to keep the best talent in the area. I think we did a good job of that. And then I'm a loyal guy, so I grabbed a kid from Pittsburgh, that's going to come down and join our team. I grabbed a kid from Cincinnati, one from New York, and then Sand Sharks are worldwide, Justin. So I had to pull one in from Australia, So
all right,
we're casting a wide net and looking at some other guys. So I'm excited about where we're at as a program. Great players we got signed up, but even better people, that are going to be in the community, and people are going to know about them. And I'm excited to coach these guys, and I can't wait for us to get started with our first practice. And then the town is waiting for the first game on November 11th. So I love where we're at, and it's still work to do, but couldn't be more blessed with what we got so far.
How's it going on the women's side, Coach Versup? I've seen a couple of things on Twitter. I know Takoya Hayward, a local kid, picked up an offer, so that was exciting to see. But you probably have some insight into where she's at, and we haven't been able to catch up with her recently. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's Coach Sharon and I are great friends. We actually share an office right now, so it's a good thing we get along because we see each other and we pick each other's brains every day. She's doing great. I know she got a local kid from Savannah. She got a kid coming down from New York as well. She got an Ohio kid, Indiana kid. So she's doing a great job of identifying the best culture fits, and we're having a lot of fun with. We constantly are picking each other's brains. Like I'll send her recruits, she'll send me recruits. We want to do it together. We're building basketball in the area. And some of the things that I'm good at and some of the things that she's good at, we're combining forces and really doing it together. So her program's in a great spot. We're excited about the facility. We've been in meetings, 4 or 5 of them, nailing down the facility details. Glad we were able to do that. So looking forward to construction here towards the end of graduation, and excited for the community, really.
Get in there, Mullis.
You bring anybody in early, or will you wait till? Do you bring anybody in during the summer to kind of get them acclimated, or will they come in?
Not in year one. The report date for us will be August 17th or 18th. A week before school starts, and in at our level in Division II, you're not allowed to do anything in the summer.
Okay.
So unless it's at the request of a student athlete, they change the rule. But in year one, we won't. In year 2 or 3, maybe some guys want to, hang around and work a local job on the island. They'd be allowed to use the facilities and stuff like that, and we'd be happy to do so. A lot of guys do that anyway. They come down to the island and work, make a little money. So maybe in years past, but we'll bring our guys in August 17th, and you're allowed to start what's called CARA activities the 4th day of classes. So on that date, we'll start our first quote unquote practice and get the guys together. So it's exciting. We're looking forward to it. I'm ready. I was out of it. I was recruiting for a whole year. I missed practice. I missed the interaction. I missed the games. It was a unique year for me, not actually coaching basketball. So I wish it was tomorrow. If we had to roll with the 11 guys we got right now, I'd be fine with it. You know, I'm ready to.
Except they're all freshmen, right? Yeah, you haven't been able to dip into that portal yet, so that's a.
We'll have to get you some freshmen. We'll have to get you some Lowco NIL money.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'll accept any NIL money we can get, and I'll give it all to the players. I'm a players first guy. But yeah, we and it's a lot of the great. We got really good. All of our players are really, really good. Really talented guys. Guys are going to continue to develop. It's just hard. You can't have a roster of 15 freshmen and expect to, be competitive and win basketball games. So now's the time where, we're looking in the portal. We got a board, that's, 15 deep at each position, just looking to get the best experience, but they got to be the right culture guys. I just can't bring in, I can't bring in a LeBron James if he doesn't fit the culture, right? I wouldn't do that. It's not. We're talking about building a foundation for a program and a culture. Like I tell everybody that I have on campus and in recruiting, if your foundation of your house isn't strong, it falls in, right? So if our culture and our character of our foundation isn't strong, it's not going to work. I told our athletic director, I could call 15 of my best friends in Division I and get a bunch of transfers in here and we could win right away, but I don't think that's sustainable. I want to be loyal. I want to recruit the best freshmen we can get, mix in some transfers, Division I, Division II, NAIA, JUCO, the best ones we can get, and have a solid roster, shaped up hopefully by the end of June and then be ready to rock and roll.
What kind of style do you like to play? I mean, it seemed like D2 NAIA, you either got guys that want to shoot it, from wherever and as quick as they can, or you got an old Princeton offense, it's one of the two. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of in between.
Yeah, we're the former. We're gonna try to score 100 points. We're gonna press and trap. Our assistant coach was a 5-year starter at West Liberty, who was just in the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at IUP, so we were the two best teams in the Atlantic region. So we're kind of blending styles to put a fun product. But yeah, we'll mix in different presses. We'll trap the first pass sometimes. We'll run and jump. But we want to take the first best look we can get. We want to shoot a three within the first 5 seconds of the shot clock. I'm not going to lie to you. And I want to put an exciting product. I think what's unique, and I was explaining this on another podcast, is like when you get into a league and you're trying to build a foundation, it's like most new coaches take over a program that's at the bottom of the league, right? That's why they take it over. We're below the bottom right now. We don't have our program yet. So we're going to play a style that's different than anybody in the Peach Belt because we want to try to steal some games from some really good teams. And I really think I've seen it at all levels. I think the Peach Belt is, if not the best, it's the top 3 conference in the entire country. It's a monster. I'm not going to lie. So we got a big challenge ahead of us next year, but we got all guys that are excited for that challenge. We're not going to back down from anybody.
That's good.
Yeah. But so what are you looking for? You talk a lot about the culture. When you get in that portal, how do you identify those guys who are going to fit in with the culture? What are you looking for in there?
So first, kind of, we identify guys that everybody's leaving their place for a reason, right? Or they wouldn't be leaving. They're either one, they're not playing and they just want to go play. 2, they don't like the coach. Those are probably the only 2 reasons, right? And they usually go hand in hand. Or they don't like the area. There's always some exceptions to the rule, but we try to identify guys in the portal that we think are super talented, that maybe should be playing 25 minutes a game and they're only playing, 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And we also look at guys in the portal, if they are on really good teams, maybe they're just not getting an opportunity because they got a really, really good player ahead of them and their team, is winning 25 games. Mm-hmm. So we're careful about how we identify. And then we have a platform to where we can watch, film on any college team, so if we see a guy in the portal, he's not averaging a lot of minutes or a lot of points, but we're able to watch him. We're able to, analyze how he moves, how he shoots, how fast is he through watching film. So we do that, and then just like we recruit any high school kid, we research, right? We'll call the coach. Why is he leaving? We'll call the assistant coach. We'll call the grad assistant. Then we'll call his high school teammates. Us coaches, before we decide to bring somebody on, we've talked to 10, 15 people about you, and that's kind of, so if we identify a transfer we think is talented enough, we'll recruit him just like a high school guy and go from there. It's kind of our process. And I'm not saying that's the best way, but that's how we think we need to build the program.
Yep.
I tell every one
bridges, kids.
Yep. I tell every one of our guys, if you're being recruited or you think if you want to be recruited, you better think before you hit send on that Instagram.
You better not even think about it. You better think twice about it or three times.
Because
we see
coaches have, everybody's got a burner Instagram account. I pick on them all the time.
Don't give up our secrets, man. Don't give up our secrets.
It is the kids, they're like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, okay.
Play with fire, you're gonna get burned. So what are kind of the next steps for you? What's the timeline over the next couple of months? Obviously factoring in the NCAA guidelines and when you can do what you can do, but what's the timeline leading up to November?
The timeline for us is, like I said, we got 11 guys. We'll probably bring in 4 or 5 more transfers. Once we do that, for me personally, I'm trying to be involved in the community as much as I can. I'm trying to meet as many people as I can to raise excitement for the program. But really, priority number 1, get players. Priority number 2, get word out in the community about our program. So those are my top 2 priorities right now. But so if we have our roster set by June, guys will start getting here by August 17th or 18th, and then get them in school, get them in classes, set practice schedules, and get rocking and rolling. Our recruiting calendar in Division II is a little bit different. I'll be on the road pretty much every weekend in April. And there's a lot of unsigned senior events. There's a lot of junior college unsigned events that I'll be at all over the country. We're talking everywhere from New York to Omaha to Texas to Florida. So I try to get the cheapest flight possible, and if I can find a $50 flight from Savannah, I'm probably just recruiting in that area. And then I can drive up to New York. I got one of my best friends from my hometown lives in downtown Charlotte. So I try to be creative with how we use the budget to be respectful and do the best job we can with the resources that are provided to us.
Well, you've been D2 long enough to know that that's a big part of the puzzle right there. A big piece of the puzzle is figuring out how to do what you can do with the budget, because you're not dealing with those mega $1 million budgets.
No, we're not. I'll stay on a couch. I'll stay on a floor. I'll stay anywhere I can. I'll be honest, I've slept in my car sometimes trying to save the budget. I'm trying to get good players, and I want to do the best I can with it.
Amen,
I grew up right on Tobacco Road, so I'm a basketball guy at heart, and Jim Valvano used to have the best quote ever about basketball. He said, how you've made it as a basketball coach? When you start getting...
Oh, I lost you there.
We
lost you, Mullis. Oh, man, he left us on a cliffhanger.
I know, on a hanger.
Total cliffhanger. When you start getting... We're just going to have to wait and find out, Ronnie, but... I don't know what happened to Mullis. He must have got a phone call.
Yep.
He's a popular man.
Yeah.
Well, while we wait for Mullis to come back with the rest of his Valvano quote, you getting back in town for the Heritage next week, or you're a Lowco resident now. You can't miss the Heritage.
I'm excited to get to the Heritage. I'm headed to the Heritage on Sunday.
Very good.
I'm gonna take a local, what I'm trying to get as a local donor to the Heritage with me, and go from there. I've never had golf is one of these games I've found out, because my brother's an avid golfer. You got to have time to practice if you want to be good. and
Yes.
I don't like to do stuff that I'm not good at, and I don't have the time to practice. So I, I don't play. I need to start playing because I'm in the low country now, and it's the golfing community, right? So I want to get our team. I want to have some success, and then I want to start playing golf.
Yeah, go get old Corey Cottrell to show you how it's done.
That's my guy. I'm picking his brain every day on how to even swing a club. I've been out a few times, but I was reading your text. You said have some picks ready for
Yeah.
the Heritage. I hurry up and called my brother. I said, hey man, I don't really know a whole lot about golf. Can you give me some names? So he texted. Then I just remembered I was I'm trying to be a local. I want to be my face involved. I was at Giuseppe's Pizza hanging out watching a Steeler game one day.
Good Pittsburgh place. Yeah, good Pittsburgh place.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there and I start talking to this gentleman. He lives in the area and catching up about Pittsburgh. And I was telling him about USCB and our program and stuff. He's like, oh, do you happen to know this guy named Justin Thomas? I'm like, no, who's that? He's like, oh, don't worry about it then. Da, da, da. So I called and I said, this is Justin. He's like, he's only one of the best golfers in the world.
Yeah.
So if I'm pulling for anybody right now, I'm pulling for Justin Thomas and his uncle because he was a great dude and he's a local.
There you go. Well, how about that? I had no idea that we had a local Justin Thomas connection there. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Well, that's a good pick. I mean, JT, he's very good. We got like 9 of the top 10 players in the world. He's one of them. So it's going to be a tremendous field and should be a lot of fun out there this week. I hope you enjoy yourself on Sunday. I hope you lock down that donor. And here's Mullis. His phone must have overheated. Mullis is back.
Don't do it on the porch.
Don't do it on the porch. It's too hot today. It's going to cool off this weekend, but if it's over 80, you can't do it on the porch.
I learned a trick, though. Put your phone in the freezer is what they told me.
All right, there you go. Well, you were in the middle of a Jim Valvano quote. And,
it was the best ever. He said, you know how you've made it as a coach? When your court has less lines on it, the farther you go. He said he said when he got to state, they only had basketball lines. They didn't have volleyball lines and everything else.
When there's no volleyball lines on it, you made it, right?
Yeah, When you
guys probably still
lines, you've made it.
You probably still got to deal with some lines for a little bit longer till you get in your new place, right?
Yeah, we got to deal with a lot of lines and a lot of challenges along the way, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I actually just got the renderings yesterday for some of the 3D renderings, and I'm going to make a couple tweaks to them, but I liked what I saw. I think it's going to be a cool atmosphere, Justin. I really do. I think if we can get 1,000 people in there, which I think will be pretty easy to do, I hope so. There's no college troops in the area, man. I'd rather play in that than play in a 5,000 seat arena with only 1,000 there. I'd rather play in 1,000.
100%.
So we want to have a DJ. We want to make the games exciting. We want an environment that guys want to play in, and part of that is anywhere across the country in Division II, other than maybe 1 or 2 schools. We're going to have the best atmosphere in the country. I really believe that because of the uniqueness of it and the style we play in the area. And I would challenge us to get up against anybody in game atmosphere. I'm excited about it.
I saw the College of Charleston. My wife played there. I saw when Coach Kress was building that thing. That's kind of how they did it. They had a 1,500 seat arena that if you could win in there, you'd done something.
Yep.
And and that kind of grew. That's how that whole thing. They grew that program through something just like what you're talking about.
And it's a monster now. They're winning now with 4-year Division II guys, which is great. Like I told our assistant Luke Dyer from West Liberty, College of Charleston has taken 2 West Liberty guys. One was a conference player of the year in the league or first team all conference, after developing for 4 years at West Liberty. So we got really good talent that we're going to bring down to the area, and we're going to develop it. And hey man, in 3 or 4 years or 2 years, whatever, I want to help guys get to places that are quote unquote better. If they want to stay and be the face of a program, I'm going to help them out in that way too. I just want what's best for all of our players, and I'm going to stay true to myself regardless. So if College of Charleston, if they want one of my guys in 4 years, I'm going to drive them up there and say, here you go.
Well, you got to build that relationship because they'll send you guys too.
Yep. It goes both ways.
Exactly. It's a relationship-driven business, and when you think you got an eye for talent and an eye for basketball, you combine that with good relationships, surround yourself with good people and good guys on your staff. I think you can do something special, and that's really what we're trying to do here. It's bigger than basketball for us, man. It's family.
Nice.
Speaking of which, you've been able to get out to the Shark Park and see any baseball and softball yet? Oh no!
I think you lost it.
Uh-oh.
We're
Must be
getting
overheating too.
He's working on it.
Uh-oh.
It's having problems.
You got me now?
Oh, yeah, we got you.
I think so.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I get 1,000 unknown calls a day. I don't know how people get the number. Filter
Me
them out.
too.
Hopefully they're from Lithuania and they're about 6'9".
Oh, that'd be beautiful. 6'9" that can shoot the lights out. I better not miss that call.
Yeah, don't. If it's a weird number, take it.
Just in case. Now you've been out to get out to check out some baseball and softball this spring.
I've been out to our baseball games one time. With being on the road so much and trying to build this program, and once we get our team here, man, I loved it. Like every place I've been, I love being out at the baseball games, in all sports really. But I feel bad this year because I can't do it as much as I want to. But I will be there in future years. I'm gonna try to make it out to one or two more of our games this year.
Nice.
Very good, man. Well, we appreciate you taking time with us and jumping on in a pinch. And it's great to get an update. And we're really excited, man, for Sand Shark Hoops coming this fall.
I appreciate you having me. Anything for you guys, because I appreciate your work and promoting sports in our area. It's these kids are lucky that they got you in the community promoting them and making it about low country sports. That's what it's about.
Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate that. We're going to hear from
Nice
our
to meet you,
sponsors, and we'll be right back with more here on the Lowco Sports Lowdown.
Hey, Lowco sports fans. This podcast and all of our grassroots local sports content are made possible by support from community sponsors, including Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate attorneys of Lowco Sports, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Our original sponsors are still among our greatest supporters. Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson are community pillars who will be in your corner no matter your legal needs. When you need legal representation, call on the attorneys who support Team Lowco. Call Mickelson Law Firm. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, the official hospice provider of Lowco Sports and the only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County. For more than 30 years, the committed, compassionate staff at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry have been there to ensure your loved ones find comfort, honor, and dignity at the end of life. Because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. Homegrown Home Inspections, the official home inspectors of Lowco Sports. Jan Lucas and his team provide thorough, detailed home inspections aimed to ensure everyone goes into the transaction with open eyes and confidence. Jan would rather reveal an inconvenient truth than look the other way and provide reassurances that could come back to burn the buyer in the long run. If you're looking to buy or sell a home and need an honest, reliable inspector, call on Homegrown Home Inspections, official sponsors of Lowco Sports. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Lowco Sports. If your business or organization has a website and you're trying to figure out what SEO is, you need to call on Denise and Dave Sinkovich at DDS Web Design. They'll provide a free consultation and do all the behind-the-scenes work to boost your search engine optimization and get your website found online so you can take your business to the next level. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Lowco Sports. American Wood Reface, sustaining sponsors of Lowco Sports. Does your kitchen need a facelift? Before you start picking out new cabinets, give Ben and the team at American Wood Reface a shot. They can reface your existing cabinets to overhaul your aesthetic without the hefty price tag and reimagine your kitchen at a price point you can manage. Be sure to tell them Lowco sent you because every referral helps support Lowco Sports. 4M Metals, sustaining sponsor of Lowco Sports. Got metal? Your roof might need it. Metal roofing advantages include better energy efficiency, weather protection, longevity, a more aesthetically pleasing design, and the product is all green. So if you've been thinking about a new roof, go metal. Let 4M Metals be the difference in your roof. Jay's Barbershop. It's the talk of the town and the place to be in Ridgeland. If you need your ears lowered, head over to Jay's for a fresh cut and great conversation with good folks. And tell them Loco sent you. Local Pie, official pizza sponsor of Lowco Sports. They sling some of the best pies in the Loco, and my kids say the mac and cheese is the best around. Hungry? Hit up Local Pie, longtime supporter of Lowco Sports. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, the official floor cleaners of LowcoSports.com. If your feet tell you your floors need cleaning, call on Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. They provide residential and commercial services, including cleaning carpet and area rugs, tile and grout, upholstery, curtains and drapes, mattresses, and more. But most importantly, they'll get those floors so clean, your feet will thank them. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. Hilton Head Prep is a sustaining sponsor of Lowco Sports, and we tell you all about the Dolphins' athletic exploits. But did you know it's also the #1 ranked private K-12 school in Beaufort County and ranks in the top 2.5% of schools nationwide? Visit hhprep.org to see what Hilton Head Prep has to offer. Beaufort Academy is a sustaining sponsor of Lowco Sports, and we love covering the Eagles. With a student-to-faculty ratio of 7-1 and an average class size of 14 students, Beaufort Academy could be just the educational solution you're looking for, with more one-on-one attention. BA has a strong history of working with the whole child to prepare each student for college and life. Check them out at BeaufortAcademy.org. Thank you to all of our sustaining and supporting sponsors for their support of LowcoSports.com. Go Loco!
And we are back here on the Lowco Sports Lowdown live. I'm Justin Jarrett, joined by Ned, Butch, Mullis, my co-host on the Lowco Diamond Dudes, Wes Kerr, on vacation up in Tennessee for a few days. So I hope he's enjoying himself, having fun with some friends. But we got a few more things to talk about, Mullis. But first of all, I guess, how was your introduction to Ron Fudala? What do you think about USCB men's basketball?
Ooh, how good's that guy?
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. He actually reached out to me as soon as the job opened and was posted, because he was savvy enough to realize that the guy covering local sports here used to be the SID at USCB. And we spoke, and I said, man, if they can't do any worse than that, they're going to be in pretty good shape. And lo and behold, he gets the job. And
well, I'll tell you one thing. He's got the #1 thing in recruiting. He can sell it.
Yes, he can.
And you could just tell. I mean, he's bought into the low country. He's bought into the area. You know, that's he's going to do good. He's going to do good.
What? I'm trying to get in here. I have myself mic'd. Okay.
Way more better.
I got to turn down my volume on my phone. It was I was trying to get in here to play producer for us, and things were getting messed up. But sorry about that. Again, live broadcasting. But Fudala, I'm really impressed with that guy. I'm excited about the freshman he's brought in, and then you put some veteran guys around there, and it sounds like he's got all the right connections to get in touch with the coaches that he needs to to find the right guys. So should be really fun to see that program develop. And
well, you want local guys, but boy, I like to hear he's in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, and that's, you don't have to listen to too many games on Dick Vitale talking about, well, he's from Moeller, or he's I mean, that's they play a pretty good brand up there where he's at.
Yes, indeed. And sorry, I'm trying to get myself out of here now. Can't even get out. I don't know how I got so messed up, but trying to share some videos here later on. Yeah, I know. I'm all flustered now. Let's talk a little Masters and Heritage. It looks like you're watching the Masters right now. Who's in the lead?
I turned it off earlier. Koepka. I think. Oh, I'd like to. How about that as a showdown? Him and Rahm coming at it.
Yeah, he's kind of getting after it.
He's healthy. He's healthy. And, when Brooksy was healthy, it was 2019 wasn't long ago, and he was pretty much handling everybody when they came to these majors. And, he hits it long, straight. That guy can flight a golf ball like nobody's business. I mean, I still don't know how John Rahm doesn't win every week with that game. Plus, he hit us with the best quote ever yesterday after the 4-putt on one. Anybody that quotes Seve, I'm good. I miss, I make.
Did he do that?
Oh, yeah, he hit him with the Seve
Oh,
yesterday.
that's great.
So good. I miss, I make.
That's like the best golf quote of all time, perhaps. I mean,
my
it's
goodness.
way up there. So, Rom can make a run at him today. He's still got a long way to go, right?
Plus, you got to think now they're calling for 1.5 inches tomorrow, and another 1/2 inch on Sunday. You can have all the sub air you want. That's going to take some fire out of those greens. So, you don't have to be the best putter on the planet to win this weekend.
Yeah, well, it's going to be like almost 2 different tournaments, right? Because like the weather and conditions are going to change completely.
Absolutely.
And the old saying is that the Masters doesn't start till the back 9 on Sunday. So
it's going to be this more than ever, probably.
We got a little ways to go until we get there, so it's going to be very interesting to see the amateur Bennett. How about
holy crap? First, I heard what did I hear? I heard 2 great quotes last night coming home. He's the first amateur. I'm pretty sure they said he's the first amateur not to have to play a bogey-free round.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
he did that yesterday.
And and the other quote was. Spieth, strokes gained to par, is second to Ben Hogan and in front of Tiger Woods. And if you're on that list, that's a pretty good list.
Yeah. But yeah, Sam Bennett, you're right. He made 2 birdies and an eagle yesterday on the front 9, and then just 12 straight pars for a nice 68.
First amateur not to make a bogey. How do you go that place and not make a bogey?
He only made 1 bogey today. Made 5 birdies for another 68. That is,
he's not going
unreal.
Anywhere.
No, that's an unreal couple of rounds.
Where is he? Stanford, guys. He's Stanford. Where is he?
I don't know. I don't follow college golf like I used to because we don't have the Players Am anymore. So I'm just not as up on it.
If anybody's out there watching, text us and let him know where he
is. But he's from Texas. Madisonville, Texas. So probably played at UT, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. We'll Google him. But yeah, so interesting things happening at the Masters through the first 2 days. Obviously, great leaderboard. I still think Spieth sticks around. Rory, though. Rory was your pick the other day. He's not looking so hot.
The weather didn't. I thought it was going to rain today.
Yeah. He needed it to rain earlier.
I was going with bad weather.
He might not.
I thought we were going to get the bad weather, and he, But you know what? That place it can get guys, and and I'm sure if you ask him,
yeah, he's gonna miss a cut.
What course fits your game better than anywhere else? And it's Augusta.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's mesmerizing that he hasn't won there yet. But
and that place might just have him, man. It's kind of what Jeter say: the ghost will show up. You go to Augusta, man, the ghosts show up.
Yeah, they do. There's been a few guys that couldn't ever conquer it. Norman had a really hard time there.
Best driver of the golf ball for 20 years couldn't win there.
Yeah.
There's no way that should happen. Tiger Woods, best driver of the golf ball for 20 years, just wore that place out. Jack Nicklaus, best driver of the golf ball. They can talk putting all they want at Augusta. Those guys won it multiple times by driving it.
Yeah. Little different story next week at the Heritage, change of pace, but we're going to see way more overlap in the Venn diagram between the 2 fields than we've seen in recent years with the elevated status. We got almost everybody in the top 10, everybody who's not a LIV guy.
19 of the top 20.
Yeah, Cam Smith, the LIV holdout, the only one. And he won't be that high up in the world golf ranking much longer because you don't get points when you're playing the LIV events. So you're not going to stay up there, which is going to be interesting to see how those guys.
Might be getting a mad Rory next week.
That's true. Yeah, we could definitely. Rory's won in the Loco now. He won the CJ Cup. So
Yeah, and that's another thing. I watched that guy Congaree, and I mean,
holy cow, he was unreal.
What? I mean, how do you? I mean, it's just not. It's nothing. I mean, until you see it up close and in person, it's astounding to watch those guys hit golf balls.
Oh yeah, it's unreal. And you get the opportunity next week if you have tickets. They're sold out, but they do have a resale market where you can get your hands on daily tickets if you didn't get any. And I'm sure people have tickets. It's still the Heritage. It's still Hilton Head. People have ways to get out there. So ask your friends, find a way, get out there and see 19 of the top 20 in the world. Who you got, man? Who's going to win the Heritage next week?
Next week, I just think Spieth gets around that place really good.
Yeah.
But I don't think Schefter's played there yet.
He has not, and he's gonna be. He's got the game for it for sure.
Because he's got that short game, and you're gonna miss greens at Harbortown.
Yep, they're postage stamps.
And Schefter, but I heard Colt Nost. I really like Colt Nost. He was talking about he said if Schefter's got one hole in his game, it's putting from 5 feet and in. 5 feet and in at Harbortown ain't like putting 5 feet and in at Augusta.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of downhill breakers at Harbortown. Your 5-footers are going to be fairly flat, fairly good. Yeah. So I think that takes a little out of it. Yeah. I think Schefter, I think that place sets up really good for him. And,
yeah, he's definitely interesting. I mean, one thing you wonder about is
Steve, that the wind, they play the wind so well. And he's another one, but good Lord, I mean, how's that golf course not set up good for Rahm with a 300-yard straight little falling cut? I mean, I can't see how he's not going to play it well too.
It's going to be interesting to see, some of these guys who don't usually play here and how they attack the golf course and how they react to it, because it's very unique from what they see week to week. And
if you remember back now to COVID,
they almost
the first event back,
but it was in June too.
Came.
It was June too. It's a little different,
but they've seen it.
Yeah. Most everyone was here there. That's true. Most everyone came that year, but
and
not
all those guys.
Scheffler.
I'll tell you what, those dudes, all they have to do is see it. It don't take, it don't take them much.
Yeah, and especially.
You know who you really need to try to get on this thing at some time? The golf course superintendent, Jonathan Wright.
He's amazing. You get us for him next week. We'll get him on our Heritage Live show anytime.
I will try my best to get John out. Next week might not be the week, but
that's true.
I'll try, but I'm not promising anything because that 3:30 wake up call comes early. And I don't know how to explain to people. Let me kind of take people through that guy's day.
Oh, he's unreal.
He start next week. He's there at 4. First shift starts at 4. It goes to about 9. He goes and works out at 9. Goes to the gym, comes back. He goes pretty hard, gets everybody together, gets them for their jobs up to about 1 o'clock. He usually catches a little cat nap from about 1 to about 2. And the office door is shut. It's about 30 degrees in there, and he gets in a little nap. And then, but from 2 to about 9, he's back at it. And
he's going.
And I tell him all the time, we pick on him about being the duck. Everybody talks about being a duck. How above the water, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on, but below the water, it's a train wreck. John is like that. You would never, how we talk in baseball terms all the time about mound presence.
Yeah.
There's no better mound presence on the planet than Jonathan Wright. And that guy, you don't know if things are going great, things are going bad. It's just John. And I've been working that tournament winning for going on 20 years now. But between when Gary Snyder, he was an assistant for Gary. And most of the guys there, we've all done it. Everybody has their job. Everybody has. It's just such a repetition, and everybody just gets in there. It's not everybody knows their role, and I mean, you want to talk about a head coach? He's a head coach, and it is just watching him. As a grow into just does a phenomenal job with that tour event. And hey, I mean, I pick on him all the time about I don't want to put pressure on you, but you're probably the most important person in South Carolina next week. Because if this thing's good, it's good. But remember a few years ago when Quail Hollow was bad, it was bad. You can't hide. And
yeah,
John is just so good, so steady, so consistent. The tour loves them. They don't try to make that golf course that there's something not. They're not. John Farrell, Kerry Corbett, the Heritage Foundation. There's a reason this thing is a designated event. You want to talk? What's the guy that's the guy?
Steve Wilmot.
Wilmot.
Steve Wilmot.
He's as good.
He's amazing.
Thank God that he loves the Low Country, because I'm surprised he's not like the head of the USGA or something. They're that.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, you're absolutely right. They truly are. Wilmot
we take
world
it for
class.
Granted how good those guys are. And
I mean, if they weren't, we still have a tournament.
We wouldn't have it. And
still have a tournament.
And Matthew Goodwin, look at Sea Pines after Bill took it. They took it over. I've seen that coming from Kiowa. How good, those guys brought majors to the Low Country in Charleston. They've made Harbortown one of the best venues on the PGA Tour. Never take that stuff for granted. Never take that stuff for granted. And like I said, Farrell, Wilma, all of them, Jonathan, that crew, that cast, they're just all stars. And the Heritage Foundation for all they've done for kids in the Low Country and everything. I mean, it's phenomenal. And it's just such a well run, it's a pleasure to be a part of it.
Amen to that. And we're looking forward to the Heritage. We'll have live shows each night during the Heritage, as well as we'll be talking about it, of course, on the Lowdown on Tuesday and Thursday. In fact, we may switch up the schedule a little bit next week, because not as much going on with the high schools, but obviously lots of golf happening with the Heritage. So pay attention to the programming schedule for next week. We're not going to be doing Last Night in the Loco next week, taking a break from that. So we may switch it up and do the Lowdown like 3 days a week or something like that. But still working it out. We'll talk with Wes when he gets off vacation. So looking ahead to next week, like I said, spring break, the high school teams kind of slow down a little bit. What are the Baby Sharks? Well, I mean, they kind of do in a way, in the sense that
they slow down
kind
about
of takes
being
a break.
In town. We're in the HIT tournament next week, I think.
Yep.
Bluffton's in the HIT tournament. Hilton Head Christian's in the HIT tournament.
Yep.
Beaufort's in the HIT tournament. I know Hilton Head Christian plays Lucy Beckham next week. Team we
I have
just
no
played.
idea what the schedule is. We'll have to get the schedule for that thing.
It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Might take a trip up to Woodland one day.
And if you want to see some baseball, if you're in town, the JV tournament's going to be at May River Monday and Tuesday. So if anybody's in town, you want to see some of the young kids come play, it's going to be good. That'll be going from like 10 to 4 every day for Monday and Tuesday. All your between Hilton Head, Beaufort, everybody, Bluffton, Colleton County, everybody's in it.
Yeah, very good. Sounds good. Good for those guys to get an opportunity to play with a little something extra on the line.
Right now, man, everybody's fighting through.
Yeah, no question. It's been a grind. I'm starting to hit the wall. I'm telling you, that first day of spring break today, it was like, oh, summer. I can sense it coming. Little slower pace. We can breathe for a little bit, but it's been it'll be hot, but it's going to be hot. We can live with that. All right, so we're going to do some Loco shout outs and then wrap this thing up. And I'm giving you teeing one up for you. Tell us about our guy Bugs.
Oh, Bugs.
Closed out the dub.
He's finally hit the wall. He's getting hit a little bit, but Texas State hits a lot of people. But for a sophomore getting in there, getting the run that he's getting, he's pitching on weekends.
That's Darren Horn we're talking about, by the way. If you don't know who Bugs is.
Darren is progressing exactly like you would hope he would progress. And, I tell people all the time, get ESPN Plus because you can watch every inning of them. And
yeah, well, or even just, if you have YouTube TV or something like that, just put on the old the DVR for NCAA baseball, and you get a whole bunch. But he closed out a win last night against Georgia Southern, right? Or was that last night?
They beat him yesterday, and Darren closed it out. But he didn't throw a lot, so he'll probably – I don't know if they're doubleheader in today or not. A lot of people have, adjusted their schedules to they're playing doubleheaders today.
They
pretty
are.
much everybody, it's Thursday through Saturday this time of year, or, this weekend anyway with Easter Sunday.
They are playing doubleheader, and they lost game 1. Let's see if he pitched in that one.
No, he won't. I doubt he throws today.
Yeah, probably not. No, he didn't. What did he do last night?
My daughter and her roommate just came in. I'm doing the podcast. They don't know it.
Oh, there we go.
Paige is in the house.
Paige Mullis, former May River soccer star, making an appearance on the podcast. Horn went 4 innings last night, gave up 4 runs, only 1 earned, 3 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. So very nice day for Bugs. And some other Loco shout-outs. How about Charlie Sauls from Patrick Henry? He did it again last night. 7 innings, 7 strikeouts against Thomas Hayward. Hillsdale Christian Academy boys soccer, 4 straight shutouts. They got off to a slow start, but the keeper is an 8th grader, Joey Hopt. Coach Hopt's little guy playing keeper in 8th grade. Looks like he's hitting his stride.
Good for them. I saw those guys having a team meeting at Omelet Cafe the other morning.
Yeah? Omelet Cafe. I hit that up the other day at your recommendation. Me and Dylan Kearns, former USCB broadcaster who's now up in Ohio working at WHIZ. So that was cool. It was a good place. I'll be back. We'll have to meet up there one day. And then one other big one, Julian Huerta scored the first goal for May River Soccer the other night. He's a Special Olympics athlete. They honored him before the game. I've got video of it. It is awesome stuff. We got to get pulled up here as soon as my computer cooperates, because it was good stuff.
Misa.
My daughter just walked in too. She's giving Finley's giving me the mean mug right now because I didn't open the door when she just rang the doorbell. But where is this video? I just had it. Now I can't find it. It's a great video. Here we go. We gotta hold on for this video because it's worth it. Julian Huerta's goal on Special Olympics night. Here we go. Look at this. He hits the Cristiano Ronaldo celebration too. Look at that. Look at these moves.
Oh, he's got it going.
Shout out to the Lucy Beckham guys for being good sports too.
Absolutely.
Oh no, it froze up. It froze up on me. Our video froze up. But Julian, it reminds me of Chip Mullen when he used to go get the wins on the wrestling match for Hilton Head. There it is. There it is.
This is the best part.
Yeah, nailed it. So good. So good. Great job, Julian. Awesome stuff. And shout out to Misa. Misa's our Loco FC co-host with Wes Kerr, and they do such a great job covering high school soccer. Nah, he's the best, man. He's so great.
He is good.
All right. I also have. Let's pull up this other video because
there was a lot of good women's soccer this week. I don't have the scores, but I know Bluffton and Hilton Head played.
Bluffton swept Hilton Head, which was impressive.
Absolutely,
that was a good win for them.
Kit's pretty good down at Hilton Head. She's pretty good coach.
She's very
Hilton
good.
Head's good. Hilton Head's good.
They're having a tough
Bluffton's
season.
Coach is real good too. Well, they got people hurt.
Yeah,
those ACL tears. You and I talked about that a little bit.
Well, that's a good topic because I've seen. Okay, Philly, I'm on a podcast, baby. I've seen some people just I didn't see an injury the other night, but I saw a guy just go down and with the turf monster, a couple of guys, and it got me thinking about what we were talking about the other day about those non-contact knee injuries on that turf, and it's definitely something that you worry about. I understand the appeal of the artificial turf, but it's something we need to keep an eye on.
I get it, but I mean, and I'm a trust the science guy, but I'm a trust but verify the science guy. Go out and look. I mean, the numbers they're there. I mean, there's a reason why the Women's World Cup just went basically to, FIFA and said, we're not going to do this on turf.
Yeah.
We're not, you don't make the men, they won't let the men play on turf.
Right.
That's collectively bargained into whatever their deal is with FIFA, that the men can't play on turf. If you see them playing in Reliance Stadium or somewhere, that means turf has been brought in. I mean, grass. And
roll in the grass.
Yes. So they won't let the men play on turf. Now you see, what is MSL or whatever, but that's different. Champions League is a different animal over there, and girls, my wife played college basketball, tore ACL twice. The numbers are just there, and they're astonishing, the difference. And I mean, it's starting to hit kind of close to home because I know two girls that Paige played a lot of travel soccer with growing up. They both did it this year. I don't remember a whole.
We had a couple last year too. Bluffton had a couple last year, I think. And
that's three that I know of at Bluffton alone. And then Kaylee McGuire, or not Kaylee, her sister McGuire tore hers at Hilton Head this year. And I mean, you can write it off to whatever you want to write it off to, but it's just it's a tough spot. And they, like I said, it just that whole thing just worries me. I mean, I just, I'm a kid first guy.
Yeah,
and
me too.
But God bless the county for upgrading facilities and everything. And, I mean, I'm just not too sure that women's soccer maybe doesn't need to be played in the stadiums is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and we've seen that with lacrosse.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm not saying anything. I'm not a doctor. I'm not anything like that. That's just an opinion. And but
and you see on grass too. I mean, it happens. But
if I see Alex Morgan complaining about playing on turf, and they're giving you the facts of why they don't want to play on turf with FIFA.
Yeah.
What's the difference between, I don't get it. And, it's just a tough spot. And these girls, I tell you, with Paige playing travel soccer and everything growing up, I mean, the effort and the stuff that they put into it, that is it's a grueling sport.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, you watch women's college soccer, man, it's close to rugby. I mean, they get after it. You watch high-level competitive women's
It is a contact sport.
You want to go watch a fun sport, go watch a women's soccer game in high school of two really good teams.
Yeah, no doubt. It's good stuff. Well, I finally have this video queued up, the controversial softball video, if you want to call it that. I don't understand how this is controversial. I don't either. I guess maybe just the umpire's a little, lax, a little. Is it showing the video? I'm frozen up over here.
I heard it.
Here we go. Yeah, I got her safe. I don't see a tag there. I don't see a tag there, but it got a little heated after that.
You want me to tell you how you end the controversy?
What's that?
Catch the ball.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%. It was a very aggressive attempt to score on pop up to the third baseman, but she got in there. Michaela Chisholm's an athlete, man. She can get down the line. So
how about my man? Did you see his safe call there?
Yeah, it was a little lackadaisical. I think maybe that was what got
I
him
think I
fired
had a
up.
little probably.
He didn't
a
seem
little bit
too confident in it. I think that's
Yeah.
what got him fired up. But then apparently there was another play right after that was bang bang at second, and that's when it popped off. So could be interesting. I think they're tied in run differential, so I don't know how they break that tie. Maybe they got to play a rubber match. That could be
I
fun.
haven't been down to softball and watched at James Island, but I've been to baseball, and that's a fun place to play some baseball. Those fans are right on top of you, and they draw.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I mean,
well, this was at
500,
Colleton.
600 people there.
I think this one was at Colleton, so we'll see. They might have to play a neutral site game. Might have to get to that one. That could be fun. Maybe up at Woodland or someplace. But, well, that should do it for today, man. I appreciate you sitting in for Wes, and always fun hanging out with you, and great talk with Coach Ron Fudala. Really excited for what he's going to do with USCB men's basketball. Can't wait to see those guys in the fall. Going to be awesome.
In the Heritage next week, I'm telling you, I rode the golf course. It's beautiful. They're tournament ready. I saw the BMW sitting out front. It's going to be a good week. Weather looks good. Go get a little bit of rain maybe, but the 10-day looks great.
Yeah.
Get out and see some stuff.
Will Might always says the only two things you can't control are the weather and the leaderboard. Weather looks like it should be pretty good, and the leaderboard is setting up to be very, very good with the names we got here. You're bound to get some big names up there on Sunday, so should be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. We'll have plenty of coverage here on Lowco Sports, all our channels, and here on the YouTube channel, especially with our live broadcasts each night, breaking down the action from Harbor Town. So thanks so much to Ron Fudala for jumping on with us. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Butch Mullis for sitting in as the co-host. And thanks most of all to you for watching or listening. You're the reason we do this, shining a light on our student athletes and our teams here in the South Carolina Low Country. And until next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Low Country. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.